Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Wadcast Podcast. I'm Eddie Ift. I'm on location this week. I just like to say on location. That's usually when you're shooting something. But I'm doing stand-up comedy in Portland, Oregon. And I reached out to my buddy Troy Willis, who's a very good friend of the show. He's the guy that's responsible for us helping out the Resiliency Project, which is an amazing deal where they help guys downrange by sending them product, things like myopuxes and leopard claws, to make sure that they're all good. They want to make sure that these guys are, you're talking about special forces guys and, just not vets, but soldiers that are fighting, they're active duty, they're out there deployed in the middle of fighting zones. And guess what? They get hurt too. They get injured, and they need to, more than us, more than your regular CrossFitter, these guys need to be taken care of and, make sure they're injury free. And there's nothing better than a myopux to get rid of all that waste. They call it congestion. Flush out that shit. Make sure that everyone is good. And so those myopuxes, that's what they do. They flush out the congestion. When you get all gooped up in there, inflammation, all kinds of stuff. I don't have mine with me, even though I got the new travel pouch that I think you can get on their website. I forgot mine, and I wish I did, because basically the myopux it's very portable, so I can take it with me, but I forgot I got a little bag for it. It's an affordable electronic muscle stimulation. It's an EMS, and it's also a TENS device, and it increases your blood flow, but most importantly, it removes all that congestion and waste, and it helps you recover way more efficiently. And it also decreases pain. So if you got like overuse problems, hook it up. And the leopard claw, what's that do? It is a soft tissue multi-tool, and it does, it's self-mobilization. It increases your blood flow while breaking up restrictions in the tissue, and it ultimately helps you move better. So get yourself some of these. Go to myopux.com, and just know that everyone you buy, you're helping the Resiliency Project, and Troy's a great guy. They've been a big fan of the show. We give away one of these. Not only we give one to our guest, one of each, the myopux and the leopard claw, but we also, we care about you. You guys take care of us if you donate to the Wadcast Podcast. And when I say donate, you go to patreon.com/Wadcast Podcast. I believe you can even put in just Wadcast. You take care of the show by donating. You donate at least $5 a month. At least $5. And guess what happens? You become, actually become in our drawing. I'm not allowed to call it a drawing, I don't think. It's called I don't know what it's fucking called. But whatever it's called, you become eligible to win a myopux and a leopard claw, which is a total of about $450 worth of shit. $5 gets you $450 worth of shit. So last week, Brian Janey won. Brian wrote to us, and I hope, Brian, that Troy's gotten a hold of you and taken care of you. I just, honestly, the way I pick them, I just randomly scroll through. So I want to tell you the winner this week, Michael Umayam. I don't know where you are, Michael. I hope you're in the United States, because it's cheaper for us to send it. But Michael Umayam, Umayam. I hope I said your name right. Umayam. Mayam. I don't know. Michael, you are the winner of a myopux and a leopard claw that'll be sent out to you. Troy will be getting hold of you and emailing you. Thank you very much for giving to the show and keeping the show going. That's honestly, how this show goes. That and sponsors keep the thing afloat. I've been driving around in the bingo bus. I don't have it here in Oregon. I'm doing shows. I'm at Harvey's. If you're coming out to see me, just know that Friday night now, first show is all sold out. Saturday night, first show is all sold out. I know what you guys are saying. Oh my God, Eddie, you're finally getting a career after 24 years. People are starting to come see you. Yes, it's happening. Second show on Friday, still some tickets are available. Saturday, some tickets are available. And Sunday, tickets are available. So if you're buying tickets, just know, I'm sorry, first show is sold out. Friday, Saturday, sold out. Next week, all week, I'm in Las Vegas at the Comedy Cellar. If you want to come out and see me, I'm there the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. That's Monday through Sunday. I am there doing a show every night. It's a showcase show, meaning there's like 4 comics, 5 comics maybe each doing like 20 minutes each. It's really fun kind of show style to see, because if you get bored with one of us, you've got 4 more. And a really fun host, Mark Cohen. We have a really good time doing it. And the Comedy Cellar they're just amazing at booking talent, and they always have some of the best. So come out and see us. And then I head off to New York to play the Comedy Cellar in New York City. I'll be there the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 1st in New York City at the Comedy Cellar. I'm also filming a TV show. It's called Comedy Cellar. I don't know. Comedy Cellar something. It's on the Comedy Central, and it's called Comedy Cellar Tonight, I believe. The next weekend, then, I'm in Rio at the Laugh Factory. The weekend after that, I'm at the Improv in South Lake Tahoe. Then I'm in Lake Norman in North Carolina for one night. That's the 18th of December. And then I head off to Minneapolis end of December and New Year's Eve to play the House of Comedy, and then the House of Comedy in Scottsdale, Arizona, the first week in January. All these dates can be found at eddief.com. You can buy tickets through there. Buy tickets, tell your friends, come out and see me, buy my albums online, check out all my stuff on eddief.com. It's winter time. If you're down in Australia, you're listening to this and you're still open water swimming. I'm sure there's some people down south that are still doing some open water swimming. I want to talk to you about our sponsor for tonight's show. One of my favorites, the New Wave Swim Buoy. I love saying it like that. The New Wave Swim Buoy. Get yourself one of these. If you are a swimmer, you are going to need this shit. Not if you're a swimmer, if you're a CrossFitter. All CrossFitters need this. Because, why? Because you're a CrossFitter. And you probably don't swim well. I'm not going to lie to you. We know about you. And you're not good. So, what's this thing do? It provides safety for you. What else does it do? It creates safety in a number of ways. One is visibility. It's a floating. I don't know how to call it. What do I call it? I don't know. It's a buoy. 2011 is when the CrossFit Games brought in swimming. That's when it first began. That's when I was there. We were talking about this in the show today. And I couldn't remember when they first were swimming down by the pier. If you don't want to exit the water dead fucking last, and you want to get swimming into your workout, this is what you need. It's like weightlifting, gymnastics, swimming needs to be in there, and you need to swim a lot. And swimming in open water is way different. Taking punches in the face sometimes, kicks in the face, losing your goggles. Training in open water in race-like conditions is critical for your survival as a competitor. Stop saying you're not a strong swimmer. It's not enough. You need to figure this out. Like I said, your heart rate is going to go. You're going to feel nervous. You're going to cramp. Panic's going to set in. Lifeguards aren't there. And your lifeguard might be a guy like me. I've been swimming for 20 years, and luckily I got a surfboard to hold on to. Get yourself a New Wave swim buoy. It's a float, and it provides open water swimmers a personal confidence boosting device. Toes behind you. and it's within arm's reach because it's attached to you. It's going to give you confidence. It's going to give your swimming an edge. You are going to become more and more confident. When you get in those races, you'll be so much better. You're going to have the added advantage over everyone. You don't need a pump. You blow this thing up. It attaches to your waist. And if you're just learning to swim or you're an Olympic swimmer, this is exactly what you need. You don't need a boat. You don't need a jet ski. You're also safe from them. They're not going to hit you because they're going to see it because it comes in all kinds of colors, high-vis colors, yellow, pink, green, whatever you need. They got it. Huge extra bonus. It's got a compartment that's waterproof, so you can carry your phone, your keys, protein bar, whatever you want to store on your longer swims. Okay. I'm pretty sure CrossFit 417 Club in Missouri, they use it. They're probably swimming in the Lake of the Ozarks. I'm going to use mine in Lake Norman when I go there to the in-laws. So, this is if you're a CrossFitter, you got to have one of these and, get it. Confidence, visibility, storage, all to help you become a well-rounded CrossFit athlete. Do yourself a favor, head over to your local Amazon store. Search New Wave Swim Buoys, BUOYS. Use promo code WODCAST1 for 10% off your next purchase. That's WODCAST1 for 10% off your next purchase. New Wave Swim Buoy. Now we're going to start this episode with unbelievable guest, wonderful woman. Had the pleasure of spending time with her. We went down to CrossFit Max Effort. Why did I say CrossFit Max Effort? That's next week. This week we went to CrossFit X-Factor. I knew there was an X in there. CrossFit X-Factor in Portland, Oregon, where I had the pleasure of sitting down with Carleen Mathews and her coach, Chris McDonald, stuck around for a little bit. He and his Rottweiler. And we talked about all things. I talk too much. I've realized that. I got to stop. I got to ask more questions and listen. I know you guys all tell me that. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Sorry about the Hunter episode didn't go. Hunter and I will get together and we'll tell you all about the fires. That was pretty interesting. As you might know, I live near Malibu where the fires happened, and I was pretty safe the whole time, but you know, my house was in the path and it did stop. The firefighters did a great job. So I want to put, I know the CrossFit community is made up by, there's a lot of firefighters in there. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. My family thanks you. My friends thank you. My neighbors thank you. Thank you. And, going to do something that trail that I keep talking about, walking, running the 68 miles that I'm going to put together a group probably in May. Well, now it looks like the moon. It looks like a moonscape. So maybe we'll do it across there, and we'll do it for some kind of fireman charity. I just was reached out, a CrossFitter reached out to me to let me know about a good charity. So if you know one, maybe we can get a group together and we can all do this and raise some money for guys that are hurt in the line of duty, because I owe you guys. You guys have done a lot for me and my family, so I'd like to do something for you and also prove that I can do 68 miles in 24 hours. So what do you say? What do you say, everybody listening? Should we start the show? Let's start the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wadcast podcast. I am your host, Eddie Ift, live from Oregon. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I don't know how I got here. I escaped the fires. I am here. I was coming here anyway. It had nothing to do with leaving the fires. I was going to come here no matter what. House burned down, house still up, but I did escape the fires. My family is safe and sound. My house is safe and sound. The fire came up to the back. It actually did like a 180 around our house and did not come to our house. So I came to Portland, Oregon. I was coming here to do shows at Harvey's Comedy Club, which I'm here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Saturday's already sold out. But I was coming here anyway. And the great thing about traveling is I get to come to a lot of gyms and work out. I drop in and hope that they don't charge me, Chris. And I sneak into the gym, I work out, and then every once in a while I find someone who's like amazing. And then I go, hey, let's podcast. And they go, oh yeah, I got to do this, and this, and it's too late. Before I got here, Troy Willis, who I am friends with, who is a friend of the show, who actually helps us out with Myopucks, is a sponsor of the show. And we give everyone that is a guest on the show Myopucks and a leopard claw. And also we do one guest a week who gets one. So anyone who donates to the Patreon over $5 gets one, which is pretty cool because it's like $450 worth of shit. And all you have to do is give us $5 a month. So Troy messaged me. He's like, do you want this person, this person, this person, this person? And none of them were available. So I got you, Carleen. I got you. And then I had
a feeling that happened.
And then I wanted a free drop in here. I looked at all the gyms. I thought the nicest one was CrossFit. This is honestly, CrossFit X-Factor is beautiful. It's Chris, you're the owner?
Yes,
coach?
I am. Yeah. Thank you for that. And we love having you.
Beautiful gym. But the name, CrossFit X-Factor, where the hell did that come from?
It was early on, and Portland was already taken. And then, it was just one of those names that really rung and we liked and ran with it.
Did the TV show X-Factor, had it been on yet?
Oh, no, but it's funny. I did get a call like a year later for some lady in Texas trying to get her son on. And I was like, no, like we're a fitness facility. We don't have any. And she wouldn't take no for an answer. It was hilarious. And I didn't even know what the show was. It was actually before the show. It was 2010. So.
Well, because the show X-Factor, I believe, is like the older version of Idol.
I think that's what the guy went from American Idol, and then he went.
Yeah, like I think you do X Factor as you.
Oh,
it's like the
I
Masters.
Have no idea. I'm the worst with stuff like that.
Well, so I'm wondering if people come in here like, is this CrossFit for older people? But I mean, it's like Idols for like 18-year-olds and X Factors for like if you're like 25 and you're a has-been in Hollywood like me. So it's great to be here, Carleen. I was joking. It's an honor to have you. You are a ridiculous athlete. Anyone to me that makes it even to regionals. I know people that I think are the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my life. Incredible, and they do okay in the open. So to make it as far as you've been in the games, how many times?
3 times.
3 times. You're a freak sitting next to you. I'm like, I'm sitting next to a freak. And then, Chris, you're one of the coaches of the freak.
Yeah.
Have you been her coach the whole time?
Pretty much.
Oh, wow. So, you've got some like secret methods or something?
He's my best kept secret.
Well, that's good. I think, everybody out there has these gurus and brings in people from all over the place and tries everything. And sometimes I go, it's just, you just need... I love how Rich Froning, like, basically everything everybody thought about training, Rich just had them throw out the door. Because they're like, what's your training? He's like, I don't know, whatever I go in the gym and feel like doing that day. They're like, what do you eat? And he's like, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it's like, sometimes it's like, you watch Rocky and Rocky 4. You just get up there in the snow-capped mountain and you just... do some sit-ups and shit, and then you go beat Drago, who's got steroids and everything. So, Carly, this year you qualified for the games, correct?
No.
Last year? I thought you qualified, but you weren't able, or you got hurt.
2017, I qualified. I went to the games. I showed up. I participated in 2 events, and then had to pull out because I got injured.
What was the injury?
It ended up being a bulge C6, C7.
Oh.
So...
Oh, that's a bad one. It's like when somebody's like tears a pec, which is bad. All of them are bad. I've realized any games athlete that drops out, that's a bad injury because so many of them like fight through, and it's all you do. This is the sport of suffering. A bulging. Oh.
It honestly, like, I didn't have pain. I only had loss of function. So, maybe if I had pain, then I may have been able to continue, but I just couldn't use my tricep. So
you couldn't use your tricep at all?
Yeah, on my left side. Well, I could use part of it, but the rest of it, no. So
that sounds...
So certain things I could do and certain things I couldn't. And one of the requirements was for me to do like 21 ring muscle ups, and I couldn't do one. So
that wasn't the year. Was that the year where everybody tore their pec from the going over to the
yes.
dips?
I think, I think it was.
But it was mostly men.
Yeah.
It wasn't women doing it because there's something
weird.
It has something to do with our genitals, I think. That maybe there's
Usually
there's a little more
things.
weight between our legs that makes us, tears those muscles. I'm still worried about everything I say now because of the Me Too movement. I'm like, don't joke about anything sexual ever again. Anything anyway. So what your best was a 21st? Did I read 17th?
Yeah. 21st or 24th in 2016.
So you were only the 24th fittest person in the whole world? Really?
Yeah.
You really should start working because there's only 7 billion people in the world.
Right.
And you're kind of out of shape. You should really, there's 20 some people that are fitter than you.
Right.
Have you ever thought about that?
I know.
There's so many people in better shape than you. There's
so
like
many.
20 people.
Right.
20 in the whole planet. These 20 people. Do you wake up every day just going like, I feel like they're all over me?
Yes.
That's got to be such a weird feeling. I was telling somebody the other day. So as a comedian, I'm like, I surf a lot. And people go, are you the best surfing comedian? And I'm like, no, I surf with like 5 comedians who are all as good, if not better than me. And then Daniel Tosh is phenomenal. So I'm not the best surfing comedian. And they go, well, clearly you're the best CrossFitting comedian. And I go, no, Kenny Kane that owns CrossFit LA was a comedian. He's better than me. So the only other comedian I know that CrossFits is better than me. So there's 2 of us.
Yeah.
And 1 is better than me. I'm the worst CrossFitting comedian. Then
there's only 2.
So
You're last place.
So I ran hurdles in college, and I was pretty good. I had like a pretty decent time, and not Olympic qualified. Like I made the Olympic qualifying time. My best time was 13:9. I was like, okay, so I'm the best hurdling comedian. No, not only am I not that, there's a guy named Mario Joyner who opens for Seinfeld all the time, a great comedian, better comedian than me. He not only was faster than me in the hurdles, he went to my university before I did. So I'm not even the best CrossFitting. Oh, wait, I take cross. I'm not even the best hurdling comedian from the University of Pittsburgh.
Right.
Like, I'm going to figure out, like, I'm going to start sewing or something. Like, because I can't be the best at anything. So when you say that you are, that's got to be a pretty awesome feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you are a games athlete, it's hard to look at it like that.
I would walk around. I would say it constantly. I would just walk in and they'd be like, do you want paper or plastic? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm the 21st fittest person. Do you ever throw it?
I'm more proud of being fittest in Oregon.
That's pretty cool.
I'll throw
too.
that out at people. I'll be like, fittest in Oregon.
That's a pretty cool thing though, too. I mean, even just to say that, say, Chris, do you have any other like games athletes that have come through here? Or is she your just star?
No, she's the one like at the main stable here. Like I've, been around in other games athletes before for sure, but not had somebody train inside the gym.
Did you know when you first saw her work out, you're like, this chick's gonna crush it?
I mean, that's the crazy thing about her is that, she doesn't have like these big crazy gifts. She's just one of the hardest working people I've ever met. So, and that's
you're one of those freaks.
Yeah.
So I saw in your story, like I checked you out on the internet, and I love the photo I posted it of you in your like party days, and then you now.
Yeah.
And just not only does your physique look different, but like even just your face, just like the look on your face. And I used to be a pretty hard partier myself, and I look at pictures of me when you're partying, you don't realize that you look like that.
Yeah.
Because just everything's like, fucking great today. Yeah, what are we doing? We're drinking. And you look like You look like Amy Schumer almost. Like you're just like, who wants to fucking party? And now you look like the fittest person in the world. So your story is pretty intense from what I've heard. And a lot of people wrote in and were like, yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing. So
thanks.
Can we get into that a little bit, or do you hate talking about it?
No, that's.
So what was your how bad of a partier were you?
I was the party girl.
Really?
So I just every weekend the party, and usually it carried over to Sunday, Monday, and sometimes Tuesday. But
were you booze or were you booze and drugs?
A little bit of both. So mostly booze, mostly drinking, and then once I started partying more, I got dabbled in some party drugs. And
really?
Stuff,
so were you a pill popper? Or were you did a little up the nose? Which one?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, you liked it all.
Yeah,
wow, you didn't fuck around. Holy shit. I look, the world I live in of comedy. I have, you can see by the news, I've lost a lot of friends from partying, and I've been in the business 24 years. So I've seen tons and tons of addiction, and I've seen it destroy tons of lives. And so it's I joke about it, but at the same time I joke about everything. Yeah. So I know it's not funny, and you're lucky enough to have gotten it. Did you have to quit? Like, did you have to go to rehab or anything, or were you?
I did not go to rehab. I just kind of started out. I just was like, I'm gonna not drink for 30 days, and
that was the start of it.
Yeah.
And how long have you been sober?
8 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't seem like that long.
Do you crave it in the least bit at all?
No, on majority of the time. We did go to Cancun, and it was kind of like, gosh, like it would be cool if I could drink, but I know I can't. So
I drink a little bit. Like, I would like to drink more, but my stomach, I just can't handle it anymore. Something happened to me. I think it was like my body was just like, there's been enough in here. There's rust. Like, you've rusted your entire inside. So like, I'll have like 2 drinks and I'm like, oh. So now, like, when I go on vacations and stuff like that, I'm like, party. And then I'm like, I have the 1 drink and I'm like, okay, let's go watch a movie in our room. This is getting old. Sucks. It sucks. I always tell kids, don't do drugs, because you're young. You can still play sports. You can still have sex. You can do all kinds of stuff. Save the drugs for when you're really old and you're going to need them. And then you're going to have a low tolerance and you're going to enjoy the fuck out of them. Drugs are wasted on the youth. The youth should not. When I'm 80, I'm doing heroin for sure. my parents are in their 80s and I watch them and I'm like, yep, I never really got into drugs, but like 80 heroin. That's about it. Maybe, like, I think I've got some good genes, so I might make it to 90 something. 90 heroin. I'm going to be like tap a vein. You look all over my body. They're everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you pretty much like you'll get that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
you'll get
but
that
they
just
don't,
from being 90.
They don't give them the good stuff, though. I see what my mom takes, like 70 pills a day. She's got like one of those like pill cases.
I have one of those too.
Yeah, and I'm like, they're all canceling each other out. Are you a big supplement person?
No, I'm not a huge supplement person, but I kind of am right now. I've got like my B vitamin and my C vitamin and my beef liver supplement and
right. I'm getting
vitamin
there.
D.
I'm always looking for ways to get more protein. That's right. And EXO is EXO if you're looking for good protein, here you go. They've got an automated vertical farm. How about that? Automated vertical farm in Austin, Texas, where they raise crickets. That's right. Crickets are like cows or buffalo or whatever. They're packed with protein, but also high in micronutrients like B12 and iron. The classic protein bars that they have are great before a WOD, made with real fruit and cricket protein. They're nutrient-dense, paleo-friendly, gluten-free, and they were also designed by a 3-star Michelin chef. 3 stars. That's pretty damn good. And they are delicious. These are unbelievable. The high protein bars are low in sugar, high in fiber, high in protein. Low in sugar, high in fiber, high in protein. The paleo protein bites, I just stuttered. The paleo protein bites are just an amazing snack. That's what you want during the day. And they also have roasted crickets. I said that, roasted crickets. And they are high in protein, healthy fats. They come in flavors like sea salt and vinegar and Texas barbecue. Don't knock it till you try it. Crickets provide nutrition similar to livestock with a fraction of the impact of land, water, and CO2 emissions. That's right. No farting coming from crickets that is creating global warming, which is causing my fires in my backyard. So eat your crickets. Stop killing the cattle. And if you're a Wadcast listener, you're going to get 15% off. 15% off. How about that? And you guys are going to thank me. Let me know once you get this. And just try out EXO. That's right. EXO. EXO. That's what you're going to do. They've been doing insect farming for like years around the globe. 80% of the world already eats insects as a daily diet. And you should be too. So go to exoprotein.com. Use the discount code WADCAST for 15% savings. That's EXO protein.com. Get yourself a variety box. Try all the flavors like blueberry, vanilla, banana bread. exoprotein.com. Use the discount code WADCAST for 15% savings. Join the EXO movement today towards a healthier life and a healthier planet.
I have a buddy that does the show often, Dylan, at Physiologic on Instagram. He's a great nutritionist. He's a trainer, coach, and he's a freak. He likes tests on his own body all the time. And he's got me on so many different things right now that I got to shout out. He fixed I was having horrible indigestion, and he fixed it all. So he knew his shit. But now I'm on all these supplements so that when I leave my house, like when I had to leave for the fires, I was like, fuck, I need my collagen. I need my I need my magnesium. No, where's my apple cider vinegar tablets? I've got it, or capsules. I got to take those with me. And I went to pick up a buddy, Crazy Bobby, who's on the show a lot too. And I'm picking him up. I'm like, the fires are coming over the hill right now. And he's doing pull-ups. I'm like, get off the fucking pull-up bar. I was helping him because he's got a broken heel. He didn't clip in rock climbing and fell 30 feet. Oh. And so as we're evacuating, and the fire company, like firemen, police, everything, go, get out of here now, go. We're going. I said to my wife, I'm going back because Bobby has a broken heel, and he's got dogs, cats, everything. And I got to help him out because I knew his girlfriend was out of town. I go back in, and he's just hobbling around on crutches, laughing.
Doing a workout.
And then he started filling up bags with all his supplements. And he was like, no, man, I got to have them. And I'm like, no, and his girlfriend calls me on the phone. She's like, are you out yet? I'm like, no. And she's like, well, what's he doing? I go, I'm about to just douse him in gasoline and leave because he's going to kill me right now because he wants all his supplements. But are you scared as a games athlete, the way it's going, that one of these supplements could have something in it that all of a sudden you test positive?
Yeah, it's always there. I mean, there's always that, risk that you're taking. But right now I don't really care because I don't plan on competing this year. So I take whatever I want now.
I got some steroids for you. I've always said that about the games, though. Say obviously I could never make it, but like, let's say I went, I'm going to make it, blah, blah, blah. I could juice up for the entire year, work out constantly, and then just show up and be like, hey, once it's out of my system. So, do they still test you at all?
Yeah, I'm still on the
list,
the off-season list. Yeah.
Have they tested you at all, or is it?
No. I've never been tested off-season.
I wonder how
they don't really care about me.
No, I think my personal belief is that they care about their image, and they. I don't know. I went and saw Glassman speak the night before the fire started on Pepperdine's campus where the fires were.
Wow.
Maybe he started it. You never know. I saw him speak, and it seems like right now his mentality is, and I'm going to say this and people are going to like, this is going to be a contentious issue. He's like, fuck the games. Like, go do that, whatever you want to do. He even said that's 0.001% of the population of the world. Whatever they're doing, good for them. They're crazy, freakish people that can do things, and they're so far ahead of everyone else. That's not his focus anymore. His focus is completely, health oriented.
Right. Which it should be. It's true.
Are you moving more towards that, or are you still going to compete?
I may compete at some point again. I don't know. Right now I'm moving completely towards that direction. Like, it all kind of came into play, like, for me, like, at the right time. And, at the same time, I'm right now trying to get, like, my health back.
Yeah.
And, absolutely
when you say your health back, is the injury still?
No, not injury wise, like, not really, like, physically. Like, I am noticing that my body was a little bit more beat up, than I even thought. Because now my body feels so much better, not training 8-9 hours a day. But it's more of like, internally. So, like, I need to get, like, my hormones back, functioning normally and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Same with me. I've been feeling very, very feminine lately. Look, I've never been on your level, but even with the hardest I've worked out, you feel the aches and pains for days and days and days. And you're like, is this right? Am I doing the right thing? I had to scale back a lot, and I can only imagine what a games athlete is like with the people. I know very rarely in my whole life did I ever do more than one workout in a day. There were a couple times, I'm not going to lie to you. I, got in there, and, but I just can't imagine. I can't imagine the toll it takes on your joints, just everything. I think your adrenals, your central nervous system. We had this discussion the other night. I recorded a podcast last week with Hunter and 2 OCR athletes who are very good CrossFitters, but top, like number one in the world in obstacle course racing. And we all talked about, like, I've had nervous system issues where just like fasciculations and twitching and all kinds of weird shit that I'm like, am I impinging a nerve? Am I doing what the, sometimes I go, is this shit like it, I get that it's all healthy and that we need to lift heavy and we need to do, Metcons, but at a certain point, are we overloading our system? And, I called Kelly Starrett one time and I was having all these like my body was just like, I thought I was having ALS. And Kelly's like, you're just like, he's like, it's like what happened to Bob Harper. He goes, when you're redlining all the time, you're jumping on planes, you're doing shows, you're going to the gym, you're working out really intensely. He goes, you're frying your nervous system. He goes, pull back. And I think we're starting to see that in a lot of, like, this is a sport of, like, you have a window, you can do it. And then that's why, like, people like Val.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How does she do that?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I turned 35 this year and was like, yep, I'm done. That's it. Like, I all of a sudden felt everything. And
wait till you hit 40. Oh my God. You'll go to bed and you'll great. And you'll wake up and you're like, did I work out in my sleep? Like, you get out of bed and you're like, my arch just hurt. I pulled a hamstring getting out of bed.
I mean, I think that's like the thing is that it's not necessarily that the training is bad or too much. It's people are just under recovered.
Yeah.
And like you said, like go, like more, but we're just not recovering.
That's why you need to
appropriately.
take cricket protein.
Yes.
Have you had the cricket protein yet?
Yeah, I am a FNX athlete. So,
Are you really?
So
EXO is a sponsor of this show.
I eat crickets.
Do you? You
Absolutely.
just eat regular?
No.
Oh.
In the protein form.
I thought you were just like shoveling down. Hunter eats crickets. Hunter eats everything outside his house. I was at his house the other day and he had a bet with me. And he goes, I obviously lost. The bet was, he goes, if you lose, you have to eat whatever insect I find. And we live up in the mountains and there's scorpions and all kinds. And I go, no, I'm not making this deal because he's an idiot. He's like, come on, whatever I find, you got to eat. And I go, no, I'm not doing the bet. So, but crickets, I'm all good with it.
Yeah.
It tastes great. So what is you're a coach also. You coach CrossFit. So that's full time. You're doing that.
Yeah.
And then, so you're still in it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be doing the open.
We'll see. Yes, I will do the open most likely for my community at CrossFit St. Helens.
And that's what, an hour from here?
Yeah, about 40 minutes.
Okay. But you train with Chris?
Yeah, when I was competing, I would come here like 2 to 3 days a week and work out with Chris and just get away from the gym and
Why?
stuff.
What's the secret about this guy right here that I'm looking at?
He's just very knowledgeable.
Really? So what's your I'm going to ask her because you seem like a humble guy and you're not going to be like, I know fucking everything or this is my thing. What's his expertise in?
Everything. Everything.
Chris,
like,
how long have you been coaching?
I've been training for about 14 years.
Okay. What was your background? What'd you start in?
I started as just a Globo gym trainer. I mean, I had an undergrad in biology, which obviously helps getting into training. And then got out of school, didn't know really what I wanted to do after school. And ended up doing some, the academic side of exercise science and did the nerdy Globo gym stuff.
Right.
And got bored, mindless. But, I mean, when you got a girl like her, you're forced to figure things out quick because, she's an anomaly. So I had to do a lot of studying to keep up.
And so what's your what did your training look like? Was it a lot of Olympic weightlifting?
For her, it was, her conditioning is so
looking
good.
at you look like the kind of guy that you look like a power lifter. Like you're like, come on in here. Like, let's get the chains out. Come on. I will fuck you up, dude.
We definitely hit the west side. And I mean, for her, building strength was a big one. Building, and then we would start to build power on the strength. So we went to the powerlifting side early on, and the conjugate system was definitely a huge impact on the training.
And do you have a gymnastic background?
no.
Not at all.
Nope.
You look like you could do 10, cartwheels across and then end it with like a triple back lunding or whatever it's called. The triple linding. Do you guys remember that from back to school when Rodney Dangerfield did the triple lindy?
No.
Yeah, he did this like quadruple. Rodney Dangerfield, the big fat comedian, went up and did this dive called the triple lindy off the diving board, and it was like ridiculous. But no gymnastic background.
Nope.
What's your sport background?
Softball.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not usually.
I know. Like a short little, I was a pitcher too.
Really?
Yeah.
Softball used to be, when I was in high school, softball was like all the ugly girls. And now I watch it and I'm like, they're all super hot. I'm like, when did softball become the hot chick sport?
Yeah. Well, I have a friend who coached the high school team. And I learned that there's like these new things for the softball. And if you wear a bow, that means in your hair, that means bow no lesbo. Right? And if you don't, then because like when I played softball, there was a lot of like, that's when I was first like experienced lesbians.
Yeah.
And like I grew up in a small town. I never experienced that. And so I went to college like, oh, these girls, like this is weird.
I love how we have lived in such a PC society that everyone's like, if you even admit that, they're like, you're so not, and it's like, I'm sorry, that's how because I grew up in a town like that was very closed-minded. I went to high school with 0 black people. When I went to college, I was like, oh my God, what are these people?
Yeah.
I've never met one of these before. I'm so scared. I've only read about them in books and heard stories. And so my mom calling me, why are you interrupting, Audrey? But that's just out of like, I don't mean ignorance in a negative connotation. It's just you're unaware.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing with me when I moved to New York City. I was like very unaware of homosexuals. I get to New York and everyone's gay, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is new shit for me. And I've got to. I just had a transgender on my other show recently, and was saying like, hey, this is all this stuff that's going on with all this gender neutrality and all that. I said, it's very new to us. So like, give us a break because we're learning. And he goes, it's not, she said, it's not new. We've been around forever. And there was this like contentiousness that I was like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be accepting, open-minded, loving, caring, but don't judge me because I didn't know, because I, was raised a certain way. Like, I don't yell at, people that grew up on a Mormon compound or Amish people that don't use electric. Yeah, you fucking idiot. You don't know how to use a blender? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like that's where you grew up. That's what, so when you were on the baseball or the softball team with all the other big dykes, no, just kidding. So I always thought it was, a lot like that, and now I see like really, really like that one pitcher girl,
Jenny Finch.
She's like she's like a swimsuit model. Like
she's old now though.
Yeah,
she was on Dancing with the Stars, and
was she?
She's old now.
So Bo means lesbian.
No, Bo, no lesbo.
Bo, no lesbo.
Yeah,
and then no Bo, lesbo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's it's like, remember I don't know if you guys remember this, if you're old enough, when you wore an earring in your right ear. Like
one earring, an earring on one side means certain stuff.
It was
I don't know.
Pretty much right, I think, meant gay. And then it just became this weird thing because so many people were like, well, I'm not falling for that. Or you'd go, hey, well, you got that. And they're like, dude, I'm from Florida. Florida, it's left ear. And you're like, I can't keep up with all the codes. So, what does the nose one mean?
I don't know. The double nose, too.
That's very popular. I like all
the double nose?
Not the double, but every girl is getting this is like
yeah. Nose is one thing. Double is not very popular. That's why I did it.
Is that like a secret code?
Secret code.
That's like you have to be in the top 21
yes.
most fit people in the world.
Absolutely.
And if you win, you get 3.
Yep. Yep.
That's pretty good. So you played softball for how many years?
Until I played softball 5 years of college.
Oh, wow. You played college. So you could throw better than Rich Froning throw softball.
Yes.
Do you think you could have thrown it farther than him in the games?
Yes.
Hilarious. I've heard Zach Forrest, who's on the show next week out of CrossFit Max Effort in Las Vegas, told me that Froning's a freak in every sport. He said he's great.
No, I thought he played baseball.
I think he did. I think he played. I saw him play like flag football in some video once, but he didn't throw that softball too well.
I think Khalipa was the one that
was horrendous.
Yeah.
I thought Froning's was pretty bad too. I know the broad jumps were all pretty bad that year too. And I was surprised that with all the hip, power that everyone's doing, I thought they'd be able to really jump. And I saw it and I was at home watching it. And
no, I think the broad jumps were the year after.
You sure? You would know a lot better
2012.
than me.
Broad jumps were 2012.
And 2011 was softball throw?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2012, I remember going, there's one thing that I might be able to beat a games athlete in.
The jumping.
And I went to the gym. I got on my bike and rode over to the gym, put the tape down, did the jump. And I think on my first jump, I would have finished in pretty high up. And I was like, they're pretty bad at this. And I'm sure now things would be different. Everything's changed.
Yeah.
Other than, I still think swimming's pretty bad. I'm not. I've had this argument with a lot of people. Armin gets very mad at me. Your Olympic weightlifting as a games athlete is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like some of you guys are on the level of Olympic weightlifters.
Right.
The running's pretty good. Everything's pretty good. But the swimming, how's yours?
Not very good. I can swim, but
what is
I'm
it?
not fast.
What were your open water swims that you had to do in the games?
I did the it was basically just swimming. I didn't have to do like swimming with anything else. So I did the year that there was just the swim paddle.
Was that down in Pendleton? Or
No, 2015 we did the swim and the paddle. And then 2016 we did just the swim, like just a 500 meter swim.
Yeah.
And then 2017 was run, swim, run.
Okay. And you did, how did you do in those?
Like, not good.
You're also not on the taller end of the,
No.
and tall helps in swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really, really makes a huge, huge difference. That stroke length is, so how tall are you?
5'2".
Yeah, that's going to make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of training did you do for swimming?
I just swam. And swam. And swam. And swam.
Chris, what are you doing? What were your swimming workouts program?
That's where I pass off.
That was, yep. That
really?
was.
Do you sink? Are you a swimmer?
I sink. I mean, now I can swim around a little bit. But
Yeah.
definitely. I did my first swimming workout this summer and damn near drowned. So I definitely could improve.
You got to get yourself a New Wave swim buoy. They're a sponsor of the show. And I tell all CrossFitters you should have one if you're going to do open water practicing. It's like this little, if you watch any like people that go out and do really long distance swimming, it's like a high vis floating thing that comes with you. And you just wear a little thing around your waist. And then if you need to take a break, you can hang on it. But also you don't have to worry about, because swimming in open water is, as you've learned, it's different because there's a fear factor involved.
Totally.
There's fear of, if you're in the ocean, there's fear of all the creatures underneath you. There's never been a known shark attack in any swim race, though. Do you know that? Which is so great to know. Like, I always think about that when I race and like with a whole bunch of people. I'm like, all right, I don't have to worry about that. But there's also like, I swim in lakes and stuff. Boats. Like a boat coming at you and not seeing you're like, hey, I'm just over here just doing some freestyle, and and you're, next thing you know, you're hamburger meat in the prop. I've seen people that have lost. Some guy tried to sell me a car once and he didn't have an arm, and I go, what happened? And he's like, water skiing, and I was like, not well. I was like just lost his whole arm in a prop because I tried to climb in the boat when the prop was still on. And I was like. So when you would do a swim workout, would you just get in the pool and just swim back and forth?
Yep.
No, like breaking it down, doing 100s, 200s.
Oh,
300s?
yeah.
Okay.
I would just like whatever I felt like doing. Like maybe I'm going to do 100s today. Maybe I'm going to do 500 meter time trial. Maybe I would always just try and get in like 2,000 meters.
A week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that sounds reasonable, and I would think I'm sure there's a few that probably don't do it at all, but probably everyone who's competitive now.
Yeah.
You have to add that to your regimen.
Absolutely.
Were there any other weird things you were adding to it because you were afraid, like, oh, they're gonna make a stand-up paddleboard or the mountain biking, or?
I did I did practice stand-up paddleboarding 1 year, and what else? He did program one swim thing. He made me go to the Oregon beach.
Cold.
Freezing.
Yeah.
Get in the water, then get my ass sandy. And then lunge and do a whole bunch of stuff.
You sound evil.
It was it was the year that we thought that like we were going to see something like Pendleton style.
Yeah.
So
I was a lifeguard on the East Coast in college in New Jersey, and we had a thing called when you were junior guard, like your first year, they called it a jig, which is junior guard, and you got the shit hazed out of you. Like, I was in a fraternity in college. I got hazed 10,000 times worse as a lifeguard. My first day on the stand, one of the senior guards said to me, "Go mud up." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Go mud up right now." And I go, I haven't, that's not in my handbook. What's a mud up? He goes, "Put your sweats on." So it's like a sweatsuit, just like you're wearing. Go out in the ocean, like sit out in, like, you know, where you can't stand. Take your torp with you, your buoy. Come in, roll in the sand, and then sit on the stand. It's 80 degrees out, and you're wearing a sweatsuit with hot sand all over. And you'd be like rolling in the sand, and they're like, "Cover your hair, get your face, get everything." And then you'd sit on the stand, and as soon as a girl would walk by, they'd be like, "Get down and talk to her." And you'd be like, "Hey, girls." And they're like, "Hello, weirdo." But I think, you know, a lot of, since Castro came from like the Navy SEALs and stuff like that, yeah, you could, I think he's pretty much running out of options at this point of throwing weird stuff at them. They haven't had rock climbing.
I know, and lots of people last year or this past year were like practicing. I was like, man, did I like miss something? Like, did something get announced? Like, all these people are rock climbing, and
you'd probably be really good at it.
No,
really?
We have a rock wall at my gym, and I've been up it once.
Oh, you do have a fear
one
of heights?
time. Yeah, I don't really like heights.
Did you have to do, in any of your times that you were competing, did you have to do an obstacle course with a high wall?
So, well, in 2017, we practiced the obstacle course, but I didn't like that. That was when I had the bulge and I didn't have like full use of my tricep. And so I didn't know.
So funny that you can say I had the bulge. If I said I had the bulge, it would be so awkward.
Okay, I had an injury. I had a disc injury. Yeah, I didn't have like full use of my tricep, so I didn't know when it was going to give out or not. And so it was really, really scary to do the obstacle course. And then last year.
What about the ropes too?
Yeah, the ropes,
well, you can
I was
your
okay.
Feet. Yeah.
Then this past year we had, I was demo team. And so we had to run through the obstacle course, and I was still just really scared.
I think everybody sees it on TV and thinks no big deal until you climb over when you have to climb over at the top,
and you have to put your hands in a certain place. They can't be outside a certain like black line. You have to put your hands in a certain place.
Did they tell you that?
Yeah, you have to keep your hands inside the black line, and if you touch the black line, it's a no rep.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, who fell? Fraser fell, and not Jay. Vellner fell. That was like, I mean, they could have died.
Yeah.
That was
Fraser's
really,
lucky
really scary. I mean, part of me was laughing. I'm not going to lie to you. But part of me was like, all right, is this worth this? Like watching people. I mean, there's a lot of sports where it's dangerous. I mean, motocross, everything. So I guess it's part of that. But I was just like, how stupid are you going to feel if you're completely paralyzed? And it's like, how did it happen? I was climbing this rope net wall to beat this other guy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and now can't walk. So I don't know. I guess it can happen in anything. We've had people drop weights and Kevin Ogar, stuff like that. So I don't like to even talk about it, but fuck, it looked scary. But I did giggle. I did.
I think
we've had Fraser on the show. If I had him here right now, I'd admit to him, I'm sorry, I laughed at you and Belder. I did laugh.
I'm sure he's like watched the video and has laughed, and it was like
somebody said, I can't remember because I'm getting old, that they should have been no repped because there was something about how many
they probably had to have control. Yeah. They probably yeah.
And they just did this like free fall. One of them caught their legs or something on the way down, which helped.
I think it was Fraser.
Yeah. That course of the demoing all the events. What was the worst? What was the hardest?
I had a demo, or not. I had to test a team workout. One with the 30 muscle ups, 30 synchro muscle ups, 30 back squats, 30 push press, 30 box jump overs at like 36 inches. That one was hard.
Yeah. Because it was
it was heavy for me.
Yeah.
It was like 135-pound push press, which was like over my body weight. And
if you don't mind, you're not supposed to ask a woman her body weight, but what's yours?
I was like 125.
You're
125. Then.
I'm like 170, and I looked at all your weights. All your weights are like heavier than mine. Like you clean and jerk as much as I do, and you're like 50 pounds less than me. I feel like not a man. So, and you're on the smaller end of games athletes.
Oh yeah, I was on the definite smaller end.
So body weight's where you're crushing it.
Yeah.
And when it gets into heavy stuff is where you have your problems.
Yeah.
So were you I didn't look at your individual events. When you get into like regionals games, are you winning anything that's body weight kind of stuff? Are you crushing it?
Yes.
Or are you just one of those? I mean, we talked about this where, the games, you want to be just good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Are you good at everything, or do you, because of that weight advantage that you have in gymnastic type stuff or that are you really good at those and then you just have trouble with the heavy lifts?
No, I would say I'm pretty consistent.
Really?
However, this past year there was a pretty good drop off when it came to like Olympic lifting. But like I got like top 3 on the what was the lifting one? Linda.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Because conjugate. And then I won the gymnastics one.
Yeah.
Event. I don't have that background in gymnastics, but
yeah,
I'm
surprised because there are so many girls that are, that's their background.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a video of Dusty Highland. Do you know Dusty from Dogtown?
Yeah.
I watched a video of him yesterday doing something where he starts in a, like seated, an L-sit, and then pushes it all the way back into like a flange or whatever they call into a handstand and into a push-up. And I was just like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off with your amazing excellence that I will never be able, like, I need a wall still.
Yeah, that shit's hard.
I guess, gymnastics. My daughter's in 4, started gymnastics at 2, and she's still doing somersaults. I'm like, when is she going to start flipping? And, because I see these little girls. Why's my daughter? Is it just the genetics? Because they're like, all right, do another somersault, Izzy. And I'm like, no, she's supposed to be doing back handsprings across the universe right now. So you can't. Did you learn to backflip?
No. I think I have backflipped before, like once.
We always were predicting that they were going to throw that into something, like burpee backflips or something, and that they were just going to raise the bar, especially with Glassman and his gymnastics background.
I didn't.
By the way, he calls him. Chris has to take off. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for having us. And he says, have you ever met? I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
He says the way he pronounces gymnast is gymnast.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Did you notice that?
I've heard him say it that way before though. And
it's really funny because it throws you.
Right.
I was listening to him and he'd go, and I was a competitive gymnast. And I'm like, tomato.
Right. Exactly.
Like gymnast. Oh, Glassman was a gymnast. And it's just, he smart fucking guy.
Right.
I'm like, maybe we're all supposed to call it
right
gymnast. Maybe I've been saying it wrong because I found out I did a Spike Firston's podcast all about cars, and he's a Porsche freak, and I kept calling it Porsche, and he's like, can you stop saying that? He got mad. He's a writer for Seinfeld, and he's a writer on, he's an amazing writer, and he's very well respected. And at one point, he just goes, "Please stop saying Porsche. It's Porsche. It's a family." And I was like, okay. So I have a feeling if I was like, "Hey, Glassman, what's with the gymnast?" And he'd be like, "Well, in Russia, when," and he'd have this whole thing. And I'd be like, "All right, I'm a fucking idiot." So what is your, what's your future? What are you moving towards now?
Moving towards just being healthy in the gym. My husband and I would like to start a family.
Nice.
And kind of, just go that route, but, we'll see.
Yeah. You thought the CrossFit Games was hard.
Right.
Wait till and you're on the harder side of it too. You're on the female side where you gotta, my wife, I used to think she was a pussy until she had that baby. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I have a friend who, so I got back from the games, and, she was like, "So are you going to do the marathon row?" And I was like, "I kind of want to." And she's like, "I'll do it with you." So I was like, okay. And so we planned to do it on a Saturday. And I was like, "Are you getting like kind of I'm kind of nervous about this." She's like, "I am not nervous." She's like, "I was in labor for like, I don't know however many hours." And she was like, 4 hours on the rower doesn't scare me. She's like, "I can do anything." I was like, "You're right. However, I don't have that experience yet. I'm scared of the 4-hour row."
I would never do it ever I just couldn't handle the boredom. I run marathons, but I couldn't sit on a rower for 4 hours. I was at CrossFit Spokane last week or the week before, and they were doing like a fundraiser, and you were going to row a marathon and a team of 4. And I was like, all right, that's 6 miles. I was like, I'm going to be on for like an hour or whatever. And I was like, nah. I just was like, I don't want to sit. That's why I do CrossFit. I get too bored. I was bored running.
Yeah.
I get too bored lifting weights. I need to change it up. So, that's what I find so great about this. And even when I'm in a workout that's like a, 12-minute AMRAP, I'm like, oh, good. I'm done with these. I get to move to these.
Yeah.
I'm so ADD, as everyone listening probably knows. Everyone's like, you have what's this show?
direction.
I'm like, I just fucking talk. I don't. I just can't. I get so bored. I'm like, get me off. So when I watched them do the marathon row, I was like, that's boring for the viewer. It's boring for the athlete. And I always thought that was kind of dumb. I thought but it proved one thing. It proved you guys are all freaks. So you weren't in the games that year.
No, I was demo team last year.
Wait, but they did. What was the thing they did last year that was really long?
The row.
Yeah. So didn't you have to do it in the demo?
No, we didn't have to demo it.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's
so
bullshit.
glad.
I'm writing into
the whole time we were like, "Oh, do you guys think he's going to make us do it?" Like,
Dave Castro.
Do you think he's going to make us do it? And they're like, "No."
Do you guys get paid for that?
Yeah.
Oh, is it a good check?
You know what? It's better than if you were to go. I got paid more doing the demo team than I would have if I would have gone to the games.
And finished like where you finished.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I had the best time ever. I would love to be like, my career is now demo team. I
had friends that were pro skiers, and I was a ski instructor, ski patrol. Ski patrol was volunteer. Ski instructor, I was paid. And, they call you your professional skier. But, like, if you say that to a pro skier, they're like, don't ever say that again. And I had some friends that were pro skiers that didn't do well. And I'd be like, I made more money than you as a pro skier.
Yeah.
And I was in the bowl teaching the tiny tots. And they're like, fuck off. So I do find that funny that as a demo person you made. When you demo, you're not doing every event because they have different people do different things.
Yeah. Like we didn't do everything, but we did a lot. And so there was like, all right, hey, they didn't make me demo or test the strength events because I'm not going to be a good number to a good gauge for that.
And they want it to look good on camera. Like they want to show where the bar is going to be set.
Right.
Because I wondered that. It's got to be nerve wracking when they're like 3, 2, 1, go. It's almost like you're competing.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have to do any of the like announcement ones,
Right.
but yeah, it was, I mean, it's kind of like you gotta like, and you gotta do it cold. Like you don't get a warm up. You don't get to go in the back and like Paul Tremblay did like the clean and jerk ladder completely cold. He had not lifted a barbell and he like smashed it. And I'm like, I'm over here. I'm old.
Yeah.
And I need to warm up these bones. These old bones need to warm up. And so I was like, please don't choose me to do it in front of everyone because I need a lot of warm up.
Yeah, I'm like that now. I used to, when I ran, I would never even stretch. And my track coach would be like, get over here. I'm like, don't need it. I'm good to go. I can run 110 meters fast as not worrying about my hamstring. Now I'm like, if you said go run 110 meters, I'd be like, can we do this next Tuesday? And I'll do a lot of things. Jeremy Tooman told me one time, who is owner of CrossFit Raw in Pittsburgh, Raw Athletics they call it. He was a former Pittsburgh Steeler.
Mm-hmm.
I said to him, he said, people come in and they look at the rings and they're like, what are you doing those? And he goes, well, we do these muscle ups. And they go, oh, can you show me one? And he goes, no, I can't. And they're like, why not? He goes, well, I could in a half an hour.
Yeah.
Because I would have to get my shoulders ready for that.
Yep. The same thing happens all the time. Like at the gym is like, oh, will you demo what a muscle up is supposed to look like? And I'm like, no, I'm not warm and you shouldn't be jumping up on those things. I'm not going to let you jump on them cold. Why do I have to jump on them cold?
My daughter and I were at a playground the other day and there was a jungle gym or not a jungle, but the monkey bars that you could go across. And they were kind of like the ring ones. And she wanted me to go across. And she was doing it. And she's like, come on, daddy. And I was like, and I went 1. And then I have a bad shoulder right now. I have like some kind of impingement. And I went 2 and I just stopped. And she was like, you can't do it. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Hold on. I need some chalk.
I was like, I need to go is there a PVC pipe around here? I can do some pass throughs. But my shoulder still hurts from it. So, so that's the scariest thing of children too. That like you think about where your prime will be, like where they'll be in your prime. I keep thinking about this, like in like 15 years, my daughter is going to be like raging and I'm going to be like
old.
I need to take a nap. And she's going to be like, oh man, and I want to be like the good dad that's watching her, but I'm going to be like, yeah, just go do whatever you want. I'm here doing my heroin. I always ask people whenever I meet someone that quit using drugs or alcohol, what was your bottom?
It's kind of like weird because it's not a good story, but my real bottom was that I went out, I bendered all weekend, and I had told one of my good friends at the time, she was not being very nice to her boyfriend, and I told her boyfriend that she was cheating on him, on her. She was cheating on him, and so it kind of ruined that friendship, and not something I would have done sober. And so I was like really just trying to prove to her that like, oh, it's not the alcohol. I'm just like, I can handle, like, I can not drink and not be a shitty person. And I mean, for me, that was really like,
how's your friendship now with her?
We're not friends. Yeah.
I'm sorry to laugh. But
no, it is funny because it's like, I always tell a story. It's like, that was a friendship I thought I had, you know, I thought was important to me. But once I stopped drinking, we weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Chappelle's got funny stories about that. When he quit smoking weed, he's like, it's amazing. He goes, I have people that I've hang out with and it's only because of weed.
Yeah.
he goes, like, I found out I smoke weed with Klansmen. It's like, as soon as I wasn't smoking, they'd be like, hey, Dave, where you been? I'm like, who are you? My thing was I just got older and I just couldn't keep up. I would like to. I just can't. My body will not let. I don't know how. When I'm on a plane and I watch people boozing, like older people, I'm like, how the fuck can you do that? Like if I don't have 2 bottles of water on a flight, I'm dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to put, especially I do a lot of long hauls over to like Australia and back. People get drunk on the plane. I'm like, you're going to get drunk. You're going to fall asleep. You're going to wake up and still be on the plane. You're going to have a hangover
on
a plane. Do you realize what you're doing?
Right.
That is the worst idea I've ever. And I probably did it a few times myself and realized, like, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm still trapped in this cylindrical jail cell over the ocean where we could die. And now every fucking horrible feeling I've ever had is intensified to 1,000 degrees, and I'm claustrophobic and I'm hot and I want to vomit. Like,
yeah.
Why? And I think CrossFit, and I recommend it to a lot of people who have addiction problems.
Mm-hmm.
I go, get into a gym. You're going to transfer your addiction to something healthy to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have Dr. Drew's coming on this podcast in January.
Super cool.
And we're going to talk about body dysmorphia and exercise addiction, because I really truly believe there's a lot of that in this business and sport, and that this is me not being funny. I think coaches need to be a little more aware of it. And I've always said and I'm a nobody. I'm just a fucking idiot comedian. But when it comes to coaching and training, which you know a lot more than I do, so often people look at someone that's obese or has health issues, and they go, oh, you need to, start eating better and start working out. And I feel like as coaches, you need to say, you need to get a good therapist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you need to work on your issues that are causing all these bad, habits that you have.
Yep.
And you could go in the gym all you want. You could diet all you want. But until you knock out that issue, it's like being a dry drunk.
Yep.
And so I almost wish that was pushed more in this world.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that when I first got into CrossFit, like that's kind of, how it was for me. It was, strong is the new skinny. Like, this is like super empowering. And the more I've been in CrossFit, it's been like it's starting to get a little bit more shifted towards like, you have to look a certain way to be a games athlete. And you have to, and if you do look a certain way, then automatically you are, you're praised for that. And I think it becomes challenging as a female, as even, I see it with males too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely, I think should be addressed. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah. He's such a smart guy and so fun to talk to. I can't wait to do that one. That's in January. But, I think, look, as individuals, we're all insecure. Everybody. If you're not insecure, I got a nephew who's not insecure. I'll go to him like, what are you doing? You're such a nerd. And he'll be like, you got me. And he was like 8 years old. And he's like, ooh, I'm a nerd. I was like, this kid's got some super self-esteem.
Right.
But we're all very insecure. I'm a comedian. We're up there with strippers. And on the insecurity level, as I've gotten older and more secure and have a family, it's less and less. And with insecurity comes narcissism. And I think you look at CrossFit, it's like everybody's ripping their shirts off. Look at me. Look how good I look. I'm amazing. And I feel like in my business, it parallels it a lot, where it's, let me get on stage. Let me show you how funny I am. Look how good I am. Look at me. I'm on TV. I'm amazing. Look at me. I've got my own podcast. and I saw it transfer over with this like fame addiction in CrossFit where I'm this, look, I've got 1 million Instagram followers, I'm this, and here's another pose of me without a shirt on, and here's men and women. And so like it comes down to like how much of this is like good purpose.
Yeah.
Like, is your purpose to, and I think Glassman's got it right. As much as I make fun of the guy, as much as I can, I couldn't believe how red his face is. He's got it right. Like, let's clean up the problem, the health problem in the United States. And there's an element of the Globo Gym people came over in to CrossFit because they were like, hey, wait a minute. These guys can function and they still look great. And there became this like, oh, we look fucking amazing, and then striving for that more and more and more. And I think it's worse with women in general because society puts those pressures, but definitely men too.
Absolutely.
And then it becomes obsessive compulsive. So I think that's going to be a really good episode. And Drew's so smart that I just shut the fuck up and let him talk because I babble all the time. But is your husband a badass CrossFitter?
He is. He doesn't CrossFit like I do. He doesn't compete or he does it, just to stay fit and have fun. And
did you meet him in the gym?
I did not. I met him through my best friend, and his best friend got married.
Oh wow.
And so we actually like walked down the aisle together.
Oh wow.
But like at that point I was not interested in him.
Was he already like into working out? Who got into it first?
I got into CrossFit first. We were both into like, he was more like Globo Gym bodybuilder stuff. But like our first like time hanging out was at the 24-hour fitness, like doing stuff. Did he go at the level that you did, or was he like, this is your thing? No, he's never taken CrossFit to the level that I have. Okay. Yeah, he does it just to like, to stay fit. Did
that happen? Because he was like, I can't fucking compete with her.
Probably. No, it's funny because he's like, CrossFit is stress relief for you, and working out he's like, that's not how it is for me. He's like, I play video games. That is like my stress relief. And I'm like, okay, when you put it that way, you can play video games. Because you're not going to say that I can't work out. So
my wife does that to me sometimes. She'll notice that I'm off, and she'll be like, can you go work out or go surf? Because I can't deal with you right now. And I'm like, and I even know that. I'm like, oh, I'm on edge right now. More and more, I'm starting to believe all this shit, depression, anxiety, all of it. I have a firm belief, this is my crazy, crazy, crazy theory, that anxiety, which the more you talk to people, the more you find that everybody experiences like bad anxiety. I had it for a 2-year period of my life that was like crippling, and it came out of nowhere, and I'm like, how the fuck did this happen to me? And one of the things that stopped it was putting myself back in fearful situations where I was in fight or flight. So my body was actually naturally experiencing fight or flight and not bottling that all up. And then my adrenals going, hey, we need to fucking fire. What's going on here? We're used to this, and your body, it was built to do this, and you're never in fight or flight. And so, surfing bigger waves and scarier situations, and all of a sudden some fear back into my life again. And I was like, oh, wow, anxiety goes away once I'm in some serious. And so
is it like the release of like cortisol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, I think the sedentary lifestyle that everybody's experiencing, and, there's a pill for everything, and we're just fucking ourselves up.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
I like that.
I'd like to see, I think, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but that could be a whole other episode. So your gym is up in, where is it?
St. Helens, Oregon.
St. Helens. So Mount St. Helens is the one in Washington.
Yep.
The blue.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Volcano.
we are not Mount St. Helens. We're just a little town in Oregon.
Is your gym going well?
Yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah.
We have about 80 members.
Is your husband part of it also?
Yeah, him and I own it together, obviously. And he has a full-time job in Portland. So he commutes there, and then just helps me like when I need help. But mostly I just teach all the classes, and he's usually there when I have to like travel for something.
Right.
So he'll usually stay home and take care of the gym and stuff.
Do you have a pretty big travel schedule with CrossFit?
Not right now.
It's over.
Yeah, it's just over. I'm trying not to like travel that much, because I have been gone a lot like before. And so this weekend we're going up to, Orange County for the Phoenix multi-sport, Unbroken
Is that
fundraiser event.
Okay.
And so we're like leaving Friday and coming home Sunday, and it's like not having to, cancel classes or anything like that.
But you're not going to try any of these Granite Games or Wadapalooza? Nope. Nothing?
No.
Wow. You're committed to
yeah.
family route this time.
Yeah, I have to recut. Like I'm not even right now I'm on a strict like regimen of like what I can and can't do, and like my nutrition coach doesn't want me doing more than 3 metcons a week, and like I would love to be able to do stuff like that, but like I had a friend ask me if I wanted to do the Fort Vancouver Invitational, and I'm like, I would love to do a team something that didn't require me to train so much, but I can't commit to training right now.
Do you think that I wonder that sometimes, because the bar is so high, and I see people like Froning say, I'm done, I'm going team now. I find it hard to believe he doesn't train just as hard, especially seeing how well they perform.
Right.
And to win, you're gonna have to train just as hard. So these team people go, it'll be so much easier in team. Sometimes I think team fucks you up harder because you have that pressure of your teammates looking at you like, hey, this isn't about you anymore. This is about me. Don't put the bar down.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're only giving up on yourself. Now you're giving up on a whole team. That's why every once in a while I'm like, oh, it's a team workout. Good. I'm fine. Like when I go on like a Sunday or something, Saturday. And then I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you got to work harder. You're going to get pushed even harder. But it's so much fun. And so, every time I do a team workout or competition or anything team wise, like I walk away being like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. So I love it.
I don't game CrossFit well. Like I don't go, okay, this is how I'm going to do. I always just go out really fast and burn out after one round. But I game when I get to the gym and they go, we're doing a team workout. I look around and I look at who I want on my team, because I'm like, who's going to do something? So like if they go, oh, there's going to be like a lot of like heavyweight, I'm like, all right, this fucker right here, because I'm always in a different gym. I'm like, this guy looks like he can do thrusters all day long.
I'm gonna be his partner, and he's gonna do all the thrusters.
That's exactly how I do it. I go, I'll be running to the corner and back.
You can just stay on the thrusters.
We have a bunch of listener questions. I'm going to turn off the live stream on YouTube, and which I don't even know if it was because we were having some Wi-Fi difficulty, but I'll record it. I'll put it up on YouTube. You can find it, the recording, if you want to watch this. It always comes out earlier on our Patreon page. So if you go to patreon.com/wadcastpodcast, donate $3 a month, you get to watch all the videos. Donate $5 a month, you get in the drawing for the myopucks and the what's the other thing? The leopard claw. So a leopard claw is like a multi-tool that's, those. It's like
scraping.
Scrapes all that shit out of you. I use mine all the time. It's so good. But let's see what the listener. We're going to go really quickly. I called it the We used to call it the lightning round when Scott called it that. But Scott's doing the Sisu way now, and I wanted to kind of rename it because I thought we should do something new. And I was calling it, what did I call it today?
I don't know. It was like an acronym of,
Yeah.
let's see if you can
Stay
on topic.
Yeah, I called it the as many questions as possible without Eddie going off on a tangent.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I got to talk to you guys about simple contacts. I forgot. While I was fighting fires, wasn't fighting, I was watching fires. I worried about that. My contact lenses, gets hot, they fall out, blah, blah, blah. Apocalypse shit happens. You guys, you're going to want lots of contacts. And you don't want to deal. There's too much things going on in life. You want convenience. Convenience. I love when I discover companies that solve those problems, those pesky tasks or problems we all have. And the one that I've tried recently called Simple Contacts is a total game changer. I'm telling you, for anyone who wears contact lenses, you have to be doing this. I've done it. I do it. This is how I get my contacts. Trust me. If you wear contacts, then you know how annoying it is. You got to go every year. I know state of California, you got to get a new prescription year after year. You got to go sit in the chair, blah, 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 and go through all that bullshit. You don't have time for that. That's how you buy your contacts. Well, and you're always running out. I was worried I didn't bring enough with me. Need them in important times, or you can't see. Well, here's what you're going to use. Simple contacts. They're changing all that by using a technology to make renewing your prescription and buying contacts simple. Here's how it works. Using your phone or computer, you can take the Simple Contacts vision test in 5 minutes from literally anywhere. Your couch, your office, the airport. Then a real doctor reviews your test in 24 hours. And if your vision hasn't changed, they write you a new prescription and boom, fresh supply of your brand of lenses that you use. Your specific brand, whatever you like, it's on your way to your door. No more appointments, no more waiting rooms, no more overpaying. Simple Contacts brings the doctor's office to wherever you are, whenever you need it, so you can skip the office visit, but not the care. And if you have an unexpired prescription, just upload a photo of it or your doctor's info and order your lenses in minutes for a great price. They do all the hard work for you, okay? And you can't cheat. I tried. I thought my eyes were like getting bad and I tried to cheat and they caught me. So this is legit. They are testing you and they have a proper test. And this is how the world is moving. This is vision care for the 21st century. Simple Contacts offers every brand of lenses at amazing prices. The prescription is $20. How much do you pay to go to your doctor? This is $20. Contact lens prices are unbelievably unbeatable. Never any hidden fees. All shipping is free. Best of all, my listeners get $20 off their first Simple Contacts order. To save $20 on your lenses, just go to simplecontacts.com/wadcast. That's simplecontacts.com/wadcast. I have to mention that this isn't a replacement for your periodic full eye health exam. You got to go make sure your eyes are healthy, but you still need those. But it's the most convenient way to renew your prescription, reorder your contacts if your vision hasn't changed. Again, check out Simple Contacts. Get $20 off at simplecontacts.com/wadcast. Give it a try. Thank me later. Tell me what you think.
So some quick questions. I posted this today, so not a lot of questions. Usually we do it a couple days before. John Ware says he's proud of you. Where can somebody get one of those sober shirts?
Phoenix Multisport or the Phoenix on their website.
What are they? Phoenix Multisport.
They're a nonprofit organization that offers free fitness and they do CrossFit to anyone with 48 hours clean and sober.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it's a super cool program. They're nationwide, and we've kind of like took their idea, and so now we offer a free CrossFit to people who are clean and sober at CrossFit St. Helens.
That's a genius idea, and that's a great idea for all CrossFits to hit up any kind of like rehab facilities or AA facilities and say, hey, bring your addicts over here and we'll get them addicted to something else.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's an outlet, and it's also a community for them to join. #community. That they join and then that's why I always tell my friends, because people, from your partying, when you stop hanging out with all your friends at party, you don't have friends.
Exactly.
And if you if you go in the gym, and CrossFitters are weirdos, and you go in there and go, hey, what are you doing tonight? They're like, well, I was going to go drink a protein shake. Then I was going to go look at new jump ropes and dial them in. And then I was going to get 9 hours of sleep so I can get up tomorrow and go for a run. And you're like, oh, okay, well, let's hang out. And then you're not going anywhere near alcohol or drugs. Right. So it's a great thing. I never even thought of that.
They're doing one here too at X-Factor. So Portland has one. CrossFit St. Helens has one. There's a Phoenix in Bend, Oregon. So, and I'm headed to the one in Orange County.
That's great. And there's a few CrossFit athletes who have past backgrounds like that.
Yeah.
You got Christmas Abbott.
Yeah.
Have you seen her in the news lately? Christmas, way to go. She's a friend of the show. We love Christmas, and I love Christmas, December 25th, and I love Christmas too. And she's great. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we posted it, but Christmas tried to mow someone down. I don't know what she did, but fucking good on her. That sounded very Aussie of me. Fucking good on you, mate. Fucking take the fucking Sheila out. Jacob Allstat says, how do you manage nutrition as an elite athlete? How much junk food / donuts and ice cream are you eating?
As an elite athlete, nutrition is a full-time job. As somebody who's probably still elite, but don't like to necessarily consider myself that right now. Eating is still a full-time job. It just kind of depended on, so-called junk food. Ultimately I want to try and create balance in my diet. So, allowing myself to have, stuff if I felt like it. But if you're, trying to eat upwards towards like 400 carbs a day, then you kind of have to have some sugars. So it's impossible to get that without.
I'm on no carb, no sugar diet right now. Like pretty much the carbs I'm getting are all vegetables and salads and just lots of them. And so I am still eating carbs. It's not a ketogenic diet or anything. And but I had to kick sugar. Sugar was like, and I am an addict. Like it's hard for me to go to a grocery store. I just start walking around going like, and there's like gateway sugars. Like I'll be like, oh, look at this. So it's the coconut ice cream, chocolate bars. I'm like, it's coconut milk and it's dark
healthy.
Chocolate. I can. It only has 12 grams of sugar. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So that answers Jacob's question for me. How the F are you able to not crush sugar all day? I don't know. I'm losing my fucking mind. Here's what I do. Here's how I don't. Like this morning, I just ate so many eggs and bacon and avocado and just stuff myself so that it satiates me so that I don't need to go snack. And then like when next time it comes around, I'll just try to shovel down like a bison burger with like, lots of vegetables and avocado and then do it again at dinner and just try to just keep shoveling down food that makes me not hungry. Yeah.
Well, if you eat food, like whole foods that are, gonna like nurture your body, then you don't want the stuff that's not going to.
I don't believe that. I'm still craving it at all fucking times.
And now you're thinking about it.
I would kill. I cheat very, very little now. But I did say to my wife, she was worried during the fire. She goes, because there's looters going through the neighborhood. We live up in Malibu, and everyone's like, so scared of that, and they're breaking into houses. And my wife goes, "Aren't you worried up there with the looters and everything?" I go, "They were already here." And she goes, "What?" And I go, "All the chocolate's gone." Gordon Wagner says that acronym perfectly describes your style, Eddie. Yes, I do want to go on tangents. I talk too much. I'm sorry. It belongs on a Wadcast t-shirt starting around the center with the logo, then wrapping around your ribs awkwardly. Hashtag still listening. Nick Dalton wants to know if Armin was going to be on today. Armin and I talked about it. Armin's going to take a leave of absence because he's still part of the show. He's so busy right now with Armin Hammer TV, and you can find him there. Scott, you can find on the CC Way. Armin, he's in Texas. It's really hard to do the show because I don't have Machete right now. We can't set up a Skype line. It's too technical. This is hard enough for me to do. And so it's hard to get Armin on each show. But he's still part of the Wadcast. And Eric Erbaugh, if I'm saying it right, Eric R. Erbaugh, says he loves your story.
Cool. Thank you.
So I'm very impressed. I think you're an amazing person, very nice person. Awesome getting this chance to meet you up here in Oregon. If I'm ever out near wherever the fuck that is,
St.
Helens, I'll drop in and do a free workout.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you enough, and I wish you all the luck with this next chapter of your life.
Thank you.
And I feel like it's not over for you. I have a feeling we'll see you back again. You're too elite for this shit.
I'm sure I will. I mean, that would be the goal. I would like to eventually, go masters if they keep it around.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and thank you guys for listening. Always thanks for supporting the show. Go to iTunes, give us, rate us, review, comment, and you can always go join the Thrive Market on our page, and you can join our Patreon, give us a little donation, support our sponsors, New Wave Buoy, Simple Contacts, and also Exo. Get your cricket protein, enjoy it, and tell me what you think of it. There's codes for all of them. It's usually Wadcast and in the discount codes when you're checking out. And thank you guys for all your support. Thanks for listening, and thank you, Carleen. And good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you.